Welcome back to the Blackletter Podcast. We set out to create an entertaining and exciting podcast about law and business. Blackletter, the name, comes from the Gothic typeset. Over time, Blackletter became the only font that English law books were printed in. It made it harder for kind of the common person to understand what the English law books said. Blackletter came to represent something that was law, that was set in stone, that was sort of old and a well-settled fundamental principle of law. We're here to demystify black-letter law. We're here to demystify things that happen in business and law and where those two meet. And I hope you have fun listening. Welcome back to another episode of the Blackletter Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today, I have Jennifer Morris, a partner at Dunlap Bennett Ludwig, one of my law partners, and Toby Musser. Is that correct?
It is.
Toby Musser. And Toby's with MNS Group. MNS is a technology company that delivers services to government contractors, law firms, a whole bunch of people. I'm going to let Toby talk about that. So without further ado, Toby, can you tell us a little bit about MNS Group and yourself and what you guys do?
Thank you. I really appreciate the introduction and inviting me here to provide maybe some color and insight around CMMC.
Yeah.
MNS Group was founded in 1999 as a consulting firm to larger enterprises. And in 2006, we decided to focus on small and mid-market companies. As we moved forward and identified our target markets, we decided to focus on government contractors, especially around 2017. And that's what we do. We service the defense industrial base and federal contractors. Our expertise is in that area. And our average clients are anywhere from 20 to 3,000 seats, depending on their needs. We have special audit and status certifications that you might expect of somebody who performs in the industry. Things like ISO 27001, 9001, SOC 2 status. But most importantly for the conversation today, we are an authorized C3PAO for the Department of Defense, one of about 50 that are out there right now who can provide both consulting and audit and assessment services, not for the same company at the same time, to comply with the CMMC standard.
Yep, I think that's my dad was an accountant at Arthur Andersen, and they had an audit and a consulting side, and never the twain shall meet, from what I understood. So I kind of get that. Toby, I understand you've worked with Jennifer before on some projects. Jennifer, I know you're my law partner. I know what you do a little bit, kind of, not entirely. Can you explain it for our listeners out there? Because it's not typical bid protest work or joint venture agreements kind of stuff that I dabble in here. But what do you do, Jennifer?
Sure. Well, Toby, I think you're aware, and Tom, you're definitely aware. I'm in our government contracts group where I focus on compliance in the same market that Toby is, in the small to mid cap companies. I also head up our cybersecurity practice where we do a lot of data breach management, and we help companies with compliance. And by that, I don't mean the technical aspects. That's entirely Toby's expertise, but more about the written policies and the internal administrative procedures that the government will want to see, or that a company like M&S Group might want to see when they come in to do an audit.
So would it be fair to say you guys are kind of hand in glove when it comes to working with clients? Jennifer's got the policy side and the practical side, and Toby's the implementation side, the practical side.
I think so. And Toby's team has an excellent audit capability. So they come in, since they're one of the very few C3PAOs authorized, they can come in and do audit services to help companies who then can work with me on remediation, for example. And that's a way that we can work together and partner.
Gotcha. Okay, excellent. So tell me a little bit more about how you got into the business yourself, Toby. Did you start the company? Were you involved with the creation of the company, or how did you come to be here?
Thanks for asking. In 1999, I was one of the engineers in the company and helped to start it. And in 2006, I purchased the company from the other partners and moved forward from that time. So my background is as an engineer, specifically at sort of the router level, very low level, not high level engineering. And jumped in, read years and years of Harvard Business Review, and think we're doing an okay job of things now.
Fantastic. So you could probably at a technical level have helped us at the office today with our Wi-Fi router internet problems, even though that's not what we specifically does.
I'm here to serve. To serve.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that was an issue. So tell me a little bit, I guess, about your partners in the company and who I don't know if you can talk about this, but any clients that you particularly serve, are you also a contractor to the government, or do you serve just government contractors?
Wow, that's a smorgasbord to choose from. So let's go backwards a little bit. So we do not contract directly with the federal government or the Department of Defense
Okay.
at this time. Our specialty is to serve the defense industrial base and not compete with them. As far as the makeup of the company, my wife and I own the company, and we have since I took over. We're currently serving a little under 300 locations on 6 continents, and it's quite a varied makeup as far as the rest of the company, depending on the needs of each client.
Okay.
I'm not sure I covered all those questions in that answer.
I think you got most of it. So got a good sense of the background. What I'd like to shift to, Toby, in the next section of our interview, and we can close this one out, is to talk about the nuts and bolts of something called CMMC and what that is and what you guys do with that. So I think we've got a good grasp. So MNS Group is a services to government contractors principally, and not, do you guys also service the commercial space?
We do have some commercial clients that are more in like the family business or highly sensitive, high security environments. That is not our target market. If you need those services and you want to pay government contractor security rates, we can talk.
Gotcha. So I assume government contractor security rates are more than non-government contractor security rates in general.
Yes, especially in light of these looming regulations.
Well, okay, so we'll hop to that. So I'm going to close out this episode. We'll hop back right in. That's all for today's episode of Blackletter. Thanks again for listening. Join us next time when we talk about more Blackletter issues in creative ways. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode, and check out our website at blackletterstudios.com.